French name, but there was an Indian name for the same place, Ticonderoga. Duncan had told them the story of the ghost. They knew that he was soon to be at Ticonderoga, but his brother officers did not inform him that Fort Caroline and Ticonderoga were the same place. They didn't have to. As the Black Watch approached, pitched their camp the night before the assault on the French lines, the ghost reappeared and said, "Duncan, we have met again. You are at Ticonderoga." Campbell was terrified and enraged. He berated his brother officers, one of whom wrote down the story in his journal. That is how we know it is real. The next day, the Black Watch threw itself on the French lines and was decimated. It was an English defeat. Duncan Campbell was mortally wounded at Ticonderoga. He died 2 days later, and he is buried in the cemetery in Fort Edward. This is a real story, a true story. Duncan Campbell lies in the cemetery at Fort Edward. How does this tie in with the McGregors? It has been whispered in the clan for 200 years that that stranger who stumbled into the mansion covered in blood was a McGregor. I would like to say, from the McGregors' point of view, this is a story with a happy ending. Campbell died, but I cannot say that. I will only say this, that Scotland knows this story far better than we do. Robert Louis Stevenson has written a poem about this incident. Over the last 200 years, 2 clans have claimed that the story was about their man. Clan Campbell said it was about their man Duncan. Clan Cameron said it was about their man. And Robert Louis Stevenson, looking at the evidence, knew it was about a Duncan Campbell, but he said, "You Campbells have just about everything else in Scotland. I'm going to give the poem to the Camerons." So he describes the haunted man as a Cameron, but in truth, it was a Campbell. And that story that began in Scotland ended here. This is a country that is just deep in wonderful stories, mysteries, things that ought to inspire us, and I beg you, if not for your sake, for your children's sake, to look for those stories. They're all around us, and I've fallen in love with them, and I think you will too. Thank you.